rampage.
You fellas want to crack at your old job? You'll be phasing out a Canadian Mountie unit.
Don't miss the Fighting Collection on demand now. Get access to thousands of free on-demand.
The ABC studios here in Hollywood, and we're going to take you on an adventure out here, courtesy of Cal State Long Beach. That's their mobile science museum. Come here, I want to show you something. I'm going to walk down this ramp here. We don't actually have to go anywhere to be on this adventure. We're going to do it all right here because this little mobile home here, or rather motor home, has brought the adventure to us. We've got experiments lined up out here outside the studios, courtesy of the people here from Cal State Long Beach. They've brought them all here to show us that science is an everyday part of our lives. Hopefully you look a little bit better than this guy right here, but we're going to tell you more about him in a little bit. First, we're going to go inside the van and find out what they've got for us. Hello, guys. Howdy.
Hi.
All right, Kelvin, Chris, and Leslie. We want to start with finding out a little bit about how we hear what we hear and what we don't see involving sound waves. Kelvin, take it away. You're a student at Cal State Long Beach. Tell us what we don't know.
Okay, well, basically what we have here is we have a machine called an oscilloscope that's measuring the sound coming out of a keyboard. Okay, and when I press the keys, the oscilloscope measures the sound that's coming out of the keyboard and it displays the wave patterns of the sound.
Hey, Chris, take a shot at that, buddy. Let's see what you can do.
See, what that's showing right now is how the voltages in a speaker are converted into sound waves.
Wait a minute, how the voltages in a speaker, let's even take it down a notch for people like me who don't quite know what that means. Is this kind of showing us what happens to the air?
Well, yeah,
does it fluctuate, make the air move before it gets to our ears?
That's also an exact measurement, too, of what the waveform looks like in air.
In the air?
In the air.
Wow. Chris, do you know how to play these things?
A little bit.
A little bit? What about you, Leslie?
No.
All right, well, one thing I do know you guys know how to do is talk, especially you, Chris. You and I talked just before the show. Grab this mic and ask Kelvin what that's all about.
What's this all about, Kevin?
Okay, well, just like before, we have an oscilloscope up here that's measuring the sound in air. Okay, and just as the waveforms are being measured on this oscilloscope over here, the waveforms are displayed on this oscilloscope, except they're being transferred from a microphone. Okay, and if you say the word shh and zzz, see, that's what we call a dirty waveform because those sounds are dirty. But if you say ah, e, and ooh, see, those waveforms are much more cleaner and we call them clean sounds.
Clean sounds.
What do you guys think of that?
It's cool.
Have you ever seen your voice before? Oh.
No, not really.
So now look at, wait, Bob, come here and take a look at this. So now you guys know what it actually looks like when your mother says, Chris, get your bed made.
No!
That's amazing. Let me hear Leslie's voice real quick. Let me see what your voice looks like, Leslie.
Hello. I don't know what else to say.
Does it actually
didn't know
change
that.
by the voice, whether it's a female voice, a male voice, high pitch, low pitch?
Not really. What it's really measuring is or displaying is how dirty the wave sounds look like. So vowel sounds like ah, e, and ooh are much more cleaner, much more how do you say?
Pure sounds.
Pure sounds.
Right.
So they come out looking more cleaner on the oscilloscope trace.
Okay, so everybody, that's what sound actually looks like, almost as if our air were liquid. That's what the waves would look like.
Exactly. If you can see the sound patterns in the air, that's what it would look like.
All right, terrific. Kelvin, take us on the trip down here through Cal State Long Beach's Mobile Science Museum here. What are you going to show us next? Leslie, why don't you get in the front here? We'll have you do this next one. All right, it's a fan, Kelvin. What's the big deal?
Well, what we have here is a strobe light. And this strobe light is blinking on and off very, very quickly, and I can change the speed of flashing of the strobe light with the dial back here.
Okay.
And if I point the strobe light at a moving object and adjust the rate at the light flashing, I can catch various modes of motion of the fan.
Do you understand this, Chris? Do you understand it, Leslie?
No.
All right, let's try it again. So you're saying, Kelvin, that Leslie and Chris can actually see something with that strobe light that normally their eye wouldn't see?
Yeah, exactly. See, you can use this as a tool.
Well, that fan looks like it's standing still. Now it looks like it's moving.
Well, yeah, if you stick your finger in there, you can tell whether it's moving or not.
No, but is it really standing still or is it moving right now?
It really is moving.
even though the strobe light makes it look like it's standing still?
Well, what's happening there is the strobe light is catching the fan every time it's in the same position. So as the fan is going around in circles, you have a flash of light, and your brain is fooled into thinking that the fan is actually standing still.
So the strobe light basically is playing a trick on our brain.
Exactly.
Wow. What's this thing for? This looks like a big tuning fork to me.
Okay, well...
Let's have one of them hold it,
Okay,
okay?
it's a tuning fork. You gotta hold it down there.
Here, Chris, let's have you hold it right like that, buddy.
Okay. And if I hit the tuning... Oh, a little higher.
Real fast here.
If I hit the tuning fork, it vibrates. But
Okay.
you really can't see that unless you hold it up to a strobe. And I can catch the tuning fork and also in various modes of motion if I adjust the strobe light.
It really looks like it's almost rubber.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Once again, it's just basically something that we can't see with our eyes.
And if you have the right tools, you can see it.
Now, somebody actually, kids, had to, I mean, they became a scientist and found this out so that we can all understand it. But we've saved the best for last, everybody. I know it's dark in here, so don't anybody get scared. These are my favorite. Now, Chris, I'm going to ask you to move down to the big one. And Leslie, you stay up here. What is this?
Well, this is called a plasma ball. And you basically have a high voltage source inside the sphere. And as the high voltage tries to find its way out of the glass, it's basically just ionizing the particles in the sphere.
All right, now slow down again for us, Kelvin. You're the college student, we're not. What does that mean?
Okay,
Real quick.
Basically, it's just heating up the gas that's left inside the sphere, and it's making the gas on the inside electricity.
So our bodies are actually causing that to conduct?
Well, not really. What it's doing is just trying to find the shortest path to ground. And, and if you don't give it an option, it just floats in the air. But if you offer it a choice, it goes through my finger. Whoop,
Or through Chris's finger there.
Yeah, through my finger, and out my body out into the ground.
So the electrical current's actually going through Chris's body right now?
Yeah, it's going through his body right now.
Holy mackerel. We're gonna save a little bit more of this for the end of the show, but we got to go outside right now. Kids, thank you very much. Let's find out what's going on out here. I know you want to know. Oh, I don't really want to know. Look, we'll get to this in just a minute. We're going to teach you a little bit about marine biology coming up next, so stay with us. Don't go away. Kind of playing in the water, kind of the way you would in the bathtub here in Southern California, right up against the ocean. But a lot of us don't get to the ocean. We don't go there, or even if we go there, we really don't know what's underneath that level, that water surface. Well, Heather is a marine biologist from Cal State Long Beach, and she's here to tell not only me, not only you, but also Eric and Jaquita, come on in here, guys, a little bit more about what's going on underneath the ocean surface. Take it away, Heather. What are we looking at
Take it
here?
away. Well, we've got all sorts of animals here, and all of these animals are found locally at our beaches. And if you can go to any beach with a rocky shoreline, and you'll see a lot of these animals out there, so you can just look around.
All right, now, Eric, hold that up for us. What is it that Eric's holding here?
Well, Eric has a sea star. It's called a bat star, and it's related to another thing in here that sort of looks the same, and this is another kind of star. Here you go.
Okay, now.
And these guys... Is he poking on you?
Yeah, it's like he's grabbing me, pulling on my hair there.
He sure is. You know what it is on this, if you turn him over, you can see this soft spot here. This is where they breathe through. And they're always concerned that something might fall on them and they wouldn't be able to breathe. And so they have little pinchers on their skin. And what they do is these little pinchers come and they pick your hair because they're trying to move it off their breathing area.
Here, Eric.
Let's see what you got.
Let me see. Tell me how that feels. Is it
It's like pulling at my hair. It's like trying to get away or like make me go off it.
Yeah, you feel it pulling on your hair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are those little pinchers working on you there.
Yeah.
And these have 2 feet. I'm going to show you the 2 feet real quick. You can see these little guys right here. This is how they move around, is with these 2 feet. And you know what? They don't have any muscles. Instead of muscles, they have water in there, and they just push water around to make their 2 feet move. It's like if you were to take a big balloon and fill it with water and squish it, all the water goes out of one end and it goes to the other, and they use that to move. There's another animal in here that has 2 feet. Can you figure out which one it is? It's related to this guy. What do you think?
Jaquita, take it away. Which one is
What
it,
do you
Jaquita?
think?
Let's see.
Oh, it's a tough call. Should I give you a hint?
Yeah.
Look at this. What do you think these little things are flailing around? I don't know if you can see those, but if you look real carefully, these guys have 2 feet. Do you know what these are? Eric, do you
They
know what
look
these
like
are?
sea urchins.
Very good, very good. Here, want this one? Want some?
Okay, let them hold it.
Yeah,
That
you guys
looks like
hold
some-
these. You don't want to hold this?
All right.
It
I'll hold
won't
that too.
hurt you. These are sea urchins. And
Jaquita, you had a question for Heather about these things.
Okay, how do these sea urchins move around?
well, they use those tube feet we were just looking at. They can move their tube feet and they put them out and they can pull themselves a little bit, but more so, they use these spines. They can move around using these spines. And if you look at this little guy, you might be able to see some of the spines moving underneath him here. Or you can see them on top too. Sometimes they'll be moving. Can you see any of those spines moving?
Yeah,
Look
right
pretty-
there.
Oh yeah, that one's moving right
This
there.
one here seems to be like glued to the bottom. What is it that makes them stick like that?
Very good. Again, that's his tube feet. He's holding down because these guys live where the waves break. And he wants to make sure he's holding on so when that surge comes in, he doesn't get rolled out to sea. You can go ahead and just pull him, just give him a little twist and he'll come up.
Now, these guys really try to look like plants, right? I mean, they don't look like animals.
Well, no, but they are animals. We have other things in here that look like plants. Okay, what about this thing? Is this a plant or an animal? This is a big test.
Animal.
Animal.
Has to be
Very
an animal.
good.
Animal.
Very good. This is a colonial animal, and if you look, each one of those little orange spots right there is an individual animal. It's called a polyp, and it's real similar to this little guy right here.
Okay, now hold your finger there. Keith, can you take a shot over here where my finger is? Down to your lower right there. I know, see? This guy right here is very similar to this.
Each individual little animal on here.
So he's
Very
kind of like a big rendition of the little things in here that we can't see very
Right,
well.
very similar, very similar. Jaquita, why don't you stick your finger in there and see what happens?
Oh, hold on, move your, there. Okay, now do it, Jaquita.
Oh,
look
how'd
at
that
that.
feel?
Feels like it's sticking. Feels like it's
Sticky.
sticking to my fingers.
Look at that. Look
That's
look
right.
how he closes up. Look at that.
Yeah, you know that sticky feeling, they have little harpoons in there, and if you were a fish and you got stuck by that, he'd shoot a little harpoon at you, and that would help stun the fish so that he could eat it. But since we have such thick skin, it just feels sticky.
Jaquita, did you have any idea that all of this was under the ocean?
A little.
A little?
Yeah,
Okay.
just a little bit.
I have one thing I really want to show
Before
you.
we go, we do want to show you one thing, guys. Oh,
Whoa! What do you think of this?
this guy's living right off the coast?
Right off our coast here. You guys know what this is?
I think it's a lobster.
Very good. This is our local lobster. It's called a spiny lobster, and you'll notice it doesn't have any claws like the ones you see here.
What's that orange stuff?
What is that?
Look at this.
Oh,
This is a
all right, I
female.
jumped. I admit it.
This is a female, and she's got eggs, and so she's holding her eggs, and she's gonna wait for them to hatch soon.
Wow.
So it's a female
All right.
spiny lobster.
Heather, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure,
Thanks,
Jeff.
guys, for asking the questions for me here. I think we can put, well, let's hold the spiny lobster for a minute. We'll be right back. We're going to take you back on land to the world of no, you guys touch it. To the world of microscopes and spinning around and a whole lot of physics. It's a big word, but we'll explain it to you when we come back. Hi guys, welcome back to Kids View here. We're with Cal State Long Beach's Mobile Science Museum, and okay, I'm not supposed to look there. And Cheryl, I didn't. And Cheryl here is going to is making a fool out of Erika, Richard, and me. All right, Cheryl, what are we trying to do here?
We call this the draw the star, and the purpose is that you're looking into a mirror and trying to draw on the paper, so everything, all your messages are backwards. It's a lot harder than you realize, especially going around the corners. Now you made that corner good. Let's see how you do on the next one. Woo, it's going good, it's going good. Erika's coming up. Let's see who's gonna win. Keep going.
Oh, we're going fast. We're going for speed.
Well, or accuracy is good too.
Oh, that's nice. Now she tells me the rules of the game. All right. Well, why is my brain not figuring this out?
It's confused.
Well, I've heard that before, but I mean more specifically.
It thinks it's going one way, and actually it's going another. It's as if you were looking in a mirror and cutting your hair, and it's hard to do until you get used to it. If you do it enough times, you get used to it.
Uh-oh. I gotta stay inside the line,
He didn't
right?
go outside the lines. He's doing good. He's doing good. He's on the last curve. Can he make it? Yes.
Hey, wait, did you finish?
Good job. How did you do?
Did you break the line?
Yeah.
You got to the line right over here, man.
But you keep going. You can do it. I know you can do
Let me
it.
see, how are you doing?
She's hanging in there. She hasn't given up.
Doesn't it drive you up the wall, Erika? Look at this. It's strange. It's like you're trying to tell your hand what to do, and it can't do what you want it to do.
It won't go in the right direction at all.
So, Cheryl, this basically is telling us that our brain has an order set up
Right.
and doesn't like to be confused.
Right. And if you do this enough times, you can finally teach your brain to do it right. You can finally get the message right. But the first and second and third time, it gets confused.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, we have more stuff out here, everybody. I'm going to get up out of this chair, and Cheryl's going to take us. Keep working on it, Erika. Believe me, you'll get it. Cheryl, what's next? What's over here?
Okay, we'd like to show you a generator, how you can make your own energy by using this handle and lifting these levers. Some work, some don't. And this shows you how a generator works. So go ahead and turn the handle, and I'm gonna...
It's turning this one down here.
This is making a motor.
All right.
So if I put this up, and this up, and this up, now we have no power. We have no lights.
No light bulbs.
No light bulbs. But now we're gonna get connection. We're gonna put these down. It's hard to see, but now we have lights out here in the sunshine.
Hard for the cameras to see there, guys, but if you can see, those light bulbs are actually glowing because of this generator.
Right, you're creating power now. This is how windmills work, make their own power.
And this is how we all create our electricity that we get to use in our house.
Right.
Just by generators.
Right.
Well, that's terrific. Now, maybe it's because I haven't had much to eat today, but I'm kind of interested in this. What is this all
Okay,
about?
the children can make these at home. These are really fun. This shows pressure. And when you put your finger over the top of this, watch this marshmallow. We're going to push this down. We're changing the pressure inside there. It's getting tighter and tighter. And look at the marshmallow.
It's shrinking.
It's shrinking. Looks like a raisin. Now I'm going to change the pressure. I'm going to pull this back and look at the marshmallow. What's it doing?
It's getting huge.
Oh, right. We'd all like to have large marshmallows, so that's a good way to have a large marshmallow. But you can all do this at home.
Now, is this similar to what happens to our ears when we go up in the mountains?
Exactly. That's why it hurts when we go up in the mountains where we change air pressure.
It's our eardrums.
That's what
kind
our
of like
eardrum, yes.
kind of like a marshmallow.
Looks like a dried up
Well,
raisin.
that's just terrific. All right. Come on. What's this about?
Next, we're going to show you a tornado tube, and you can make these at home also. I'll turn these upside down. I'll turn it like this, and you're going to see a wonderful tornado.
Now,
This happens in our weather. It's called a vortex. That's the scientific word. But these are hurricanes, tornadoes.
we don't see a lot of these in California like they do out in the
Right.
Midwest and in
But
Oklahoma. But this
I think
is
it
what they look
happens
like.
over the ocean. I think it happens a lot where we don't see it.
Water spouts.
Right? Right?
Wow, but this is actually what happens in the air
Right,
as well. We can just see
exactly.
it better in this.
Uh-huh.
What causes this? Is this just the centrifugal force spinning around?
Right. The molecules are moving faster in the center than they are on the outside, so they're coming down faster inside.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now we're going to stay with this a little bit. Leslie, I know you're playing with a magnet here, but we're going to look just to the left of you here and figure out what centrifugal force actually does to something, I guess.
Right.
Leslie, come on around here. Why don't you do this for
Leslie,
me?
why don't
Spin
you
this
try
wheel.
it? And actually, by spinning this, watch what happens here. It actually changes shape.
Well, now
So
it started out like a ball,
Right.
and now it's kind of squishing down.
Right. The outside force.
Faster, Leslie. Try that.
The outside force is changing the inside, and so you're getting a more squished effect. It's coming down in size.
Would that almost be the same? I mean, Leslie, remember how you ever jump rope?
Yeah.
You know, like when two people hold a jump rope and spin it?
Yes.
Is that the
yes,
same kind of thing?
exactly,
It
Exactly.
makes the rope
Very
go
good.
out.
Yes, yes. We see that every day when we play jump rope. That's right.
Okay. Now we've
Great.
got Chris over here on the, on the
Okay.
chair. What's that do for us?
Okay. This chair is going to show you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to turn you, and I want you to keep put these in your hands. You're
Those
going to
are
feel.
weights.
Yes, those are weights, and you're going to feel a difference in how fast you travel. We'll start out with your hands out, then pull your hands in, and you'll see a difference in how fast you're going, okay? Okay, we're going to hold them out like this, and then when we pull them in, we go, bend your arms, you're going to pull them in like that. Tip your toes under so you don't fly off. We don't want to lose you.
Okay, Chris, go for it.
Okay, I'll spin you. Okay,
Go
now
faster, come on.
put them in, put them in, put them in. Yes! Oh, see, it's spun him right off.
Wait a minute. You mean when he brings his hands in, they actually did it make it go faster? Try it again. I want to see this real.
When an ice skater is skating and she pulls into a tight spin, this is what's happening to her. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, faster.
Whoops, I got to get you faster than that.
Here, let me help you here, Chris. Come on, go for it, buddy. Go.
Now pull them in. Hang on. Woo! Now,
So if the weight is inside,
right, you're going to go faster.
because there's less resistance.
Exactly. You don't have this drag. You have less inside than you do out here. So you're going to go faster, and that's how the ice skaters turn.
Or even how ballet dancers
Right,
would do their
right,
spins and whatnot.
Right, right.
Okay, and the same kind of thing over here. Kelvin, can I see what you're playing with over there?
You want to let Jeff?
Here, let me see. Hand
There
this
you
to me.
You need to
All right,
sit
it's a
down.
bicycle tire.
Now sit down.
No, what?
We want you to sit on this chair.
Want me to sit on this chair?
Right.
All right. Okay.
Very good. Tip your feet up.
It was easy for you to do.
Now, if you gently
Oh,
very
whoa,
good.
look at this.
See?
It makes you spin.
Now to the other side, and hold it there for a bit so it'll catch up with you. Our ground isn't quite level. Very good. You
Wow.
can really feel it, can't you?
You mean that the force of the tire spinning actually is making me move?
Right,
Now, this is also centrifugal force.
right. And it's
Is this what keeps you up on your bike when you're riding your
the
bicycle?
2 bicycle wheels that are doing that.
Guys, I wish you could feel this at home. I mean, when I try to push this direction, the wheel won't let me do it. It's also, I guess, like a gyroscope, like a top.
Right,
A spinning
exactly.
top. And that's what would, in fact,
If
if
you laid that on the ground, it would spin.
You think so?
Yep.
Let me try that.
Try it. Get it right on. There it is. Yes. Yes.
There did it. You're right.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, that's terrific. All right.
All right.
Let me stop this. You know what we're
Yeah,
going to do is we want to make sure that everyone at home understands that you don't need the Cal State Long Beach Mobile Science Museum to come to your house to explore all of this stuff. You can do it in your home, and when we come back, we're going to show you how you can do that real easily. You can bring it actually into your living room and learn all of the things that we're learning here. Stay with us. We'll show you that in just a minute. You mean there's no way I'm going to be able to pull these apart? Boy, I'm glad that Richard volunteered for the spin and I only volunteered for pulling this apart. You know, everybody, we want to make sure that you know that all of this is really just kind of mirrors the world around us. And we want to also make sure that Cheryl tells everybody that there's a way that you can experiment on your own. You don't need Cal State Long Beach to come with the mobile museum,
Science.
although that'd be nice.
Yes, right. The Mobile Science Museum is part of Cal State Long Beach, and we've been in existence for 12 years. We go out and visit junior highs and high schools and see 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. They just love it. We love to go see them. But there's science in your own backyard. Be sure and go check it out. Go to the library, pick up books. Did you know that in your own backyard you can find pill bugs? Pill bugs are part of the crustacean family, and they're same as the lobster.
And you
So
find that in this book?
You're right.
The
And
Pill Bug Project, a guide to investigation. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And magnets. You know magnets are always fun. They're always fun to find different experiments you can do with magnets. There's lots that can be done in the classroom with your school teacher, and you can go to the Cabrillo Museum, you can go to the beach, you can go to your backyard, and the library. El Dorado Nature Center. There's lots of ideas out there.
You know, who was it? I heard that someone that you guys know about, I guess, was exposed to this kind of a science project back when they were a kid and they became a doctor, is it? Because
Yes.
of that?
Alfonso is going to school right now to become a doctor, and when I asked him how he got interested in science, he said that the Mobile Science Museum came to his school when he was in the 2nd grade. He knew he was hooked on science, and we can all get hooked on science. It's out there for us.
And it's really everything. It's not, I mean, if you're not interested in microscopes, you may be interested in, you know, crabs and lobsters. Hey, Eric, slap me some skin. Just kidding. Okay, listen, thank you all so much for coming. Guys, thank you for being with us here on
Thank
Kids
you.
View. Make sure you keep your world a scientific world, okay, guys? And make sure also that you understand what's around you. Don't just shake your head and say, I don't understand it. Learn about it. It's really amazing. Take care.
Here's the ticket for the car.